Yes, hello, it me. My hair continues to be doing the poof. I continue to be bad at remembering to turn on this light. Sometimes it's hard to remember that from this direction there's basically no lighting because this room is weirdly well lit otherwise due to the gigantic windows. Anyway, it's time for another crap kit. It has some of my favorite words on the back, like 100% complete craft kit, which we'll find out if that's accurate or not. It claims to be a magical craft activity. I don't know what an activity is. I did a dumb. It says components may vary, which gives me concerns, because they literally only show one of the lanterns across the entire box, so I'm not entirely sure how the components are going to vary. Literally the entire box just shows this one. This one on the back, and it's the same one. It also apparently comes with a book with fun fairy activities, which we're going to go through, and then I'm going to promptly probably give to my sisters. Because that's how this works. I'm here for the fairy lantern, not whatever weird activities you're going to include in your book. However, this is a kind of neat kind of doodly-doo. And kind of neat kind of doodly-doodly-doo. But I'm not sure where the box opens. Because I'm not smarter than the craft kit. Oh, there it is. Hold on. I found it. Found it! I found it. Okay, why do I have that open still? Alright. Alright, well, first things first. There is no purple on the back of these. There's the activity book. Nah. It's literally just, here, color a whole bunch of fairies so that you can put them around your fairy lantern. And then your basic activity book stuff, you know, your crosswords and your other things. It also includes the instructions of how to put together the fairy lantern. But we're going to get to in a second what my immediate first problem is with this. Oh, it is on the back. Alright, never mind. Problem solved. I'm just a dumbass. Alright. To the other camera. Wee. Whoop. Wee. There we go. There we go. Do 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 do. I gotta try to not peek the mic. Do 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 do. Alright, I guess we'll start with the activity book. So this has your instructions on how to make the things. I am going to probably refrain from adding ridiculous amounts of glitter because it sounds horrible to me, actually. Glitter is, in fact, just craft herpes, and you're going to hear me say that a lot on this channel. And then it's a bunch of, hey, here's how you can draw a fairy in an absolutely, completely useless way. Because we're not showing you the actual skills and techniques of how to draw. We just made outlines. Feel free to trace them, I guess. Anyone who has any idea how drawing works knows that this is not how drawing works. But they can be used to color in. So I guess there's that. Yeah, this one's just draw most of the fairy, add rainbow. This is like those joke how to draw shirts. It's like, start with a stick figure. Finish it. That's the vibes that this gives me. So, like, congrats to anyone who can actually learn how to draw like this, but this isn't how drawing works. It's like, here, you could start with eyes. You could start with the entire head. Your choices are eyes, or start with the entire head. That's how drawing works. And then there's puzzles. I do acknowledge that the fairies are at least cute. And mildly creepy. But mostly cute. Like I guess they were going for that weird doll look, but I don't. So this is promptly being given to my sisters. For them to destroy. Because that's how this works. And then the back has the answers, as one does. Alright, I only need the front of this. This... Alright, hold on. I need to see a thing. Alright. Okay, it does say 8 or over. I guess that's fair. As it says, keep away from small children, and around 8 or 9 is when I stop considering them small. Anywho. Time to open this thing and see what's in here. My tiny Rambly, I still need to paint. Hold on. I still need to paint him. I made a tiny Rambly out of leftover air dry clay that I had, and now I need to paint him still. But right now, he just continuously is mildly in the way. I love him, but he is just slightly in the way at all times. Doodly doo. Here is our house base. Here's our envelope of things. Here is our sticky gems. I imagine the sticky gems and the sequins are where your colors may vary. Silver string. Ribbon. Thing. The tiniest thing of glue one has ever imagined. Tiny little foam balls. Stick. Gold ribbon. Alright. So the good news is we have all the things that it says we need. I guess we start with the lantern. Yeah. 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 Oh, Jeebus. I don't like that. So when they did this, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but when they did this, they included all of the little hole circles from the sequins, which means that you essentially get a bunch of glitter in the bag as well. Also, weirdly, it says you can even use the tiny glittery bits on the thing, and I assume that's what they mean, is the stupid glitter that results from punching holes in these. But I just think they were lazy and they didn't feel like removing the holes from the sequins, so they just kind of put them in the bag and said, hey, it's glitter, it's a feature. It's a feature. You can use the glitter. And I'm like, I think you're full of it. I don't think it is a feature. I think you're lying because you didn't feel like removing the things. Yeah. 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 I am not throwing those on the floor. They will be lost forever if I throw them on the floor. Alright, so problem number one that I'm seeing. They did not include tabs on these with which to make gluing easier when you fold. Which means you're kind of relying on the cardboard to stay together. And hoping that it does. And cardboard doesn't always like to stay together. Well, I guess this is more like card paper, not really cardboard, but regardless. So, I doubt any one of the people is listening or cares. But what they should have done is included little tabs, like right here, along each one of them. And that way when you glue, you can put the glue on the tabs. And then when you fold it together, you're gluing the tabs instead of having messy glue lines on the outside of your thing. Which is essentially what it does. What it says. So it says to add your sequins and your gems and whatever beforehand. Put whatever glitter. Prepare your shiny ball. You also, sneaky, did not actually include a freaking light. There is no light included in this. It is not a lantern. You did not include a light. And that's a bull garbage move. Because those cheap little fairy lights that are essentially just fiber optics with hot glue dots on it, you can buy at the dollar store for like $1 for a string of them. And you could have at least included some of those. They're literally called fairy lights. And they're not that expensive. There is no light included in this, which means if you want to make it an actual lantern, you're going to have to provide your own light. Which is why I always scoff when craft kits say the words includes everything you need, because they never do. They're full of garbage. Alright. That said, I'm going to make this now. It's not that complicated. So we're just going to play the fast forwarding game. So, a couple things I need to address, because obviously after you do the craft kit is when you're going to notice the things that you need to address. Number one, I realized that part of what I didn't do was use any sequins, thus I did not test the glue. So I'm going to check that now. Yeah, that's what I expected. Fuck. Okay, there was literally no seal. But there was a gigantic chunk of, the entire top was, was hardened over. Which means that I thought that it was completely hardened, obviously. And thus when I squeezed it and it popped, there was problems. Alright. So yeah, the glue was mostly hard. And mostly useless. Which is why I didn't bother using the sequins. And the reason that I assumed that was going to be the case, the good news is this is cheap-ass glue, which means that it washes off incredibly easily. The bad news is it's all over my shirt, and thus it's annoying. It's more annoying on my glasses, but again, this is cheap-ass glue, so... Like, this isn't even Elmer's quality cheap. This is like knockoff dollar store brand cheap. This is the kind of glue that you would buy if you were using it for Mod Podge because it is already runny. Which is probably why it was bad already. Anyway. Good. Anyway. So. I didn't use the sequins for that reason. The other reason I didn't use the sequins is because... I'm just going to go ahead and full screen this. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of little itty bitty glitters. And like I said before, they're trying to sell that to you as a feature. I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm going to view it more as a bug. And I do not want a whole bunch of little glitters literally everywhere. Alright. So, pros. It does not actually require that you glue it together. The glue was only there for the sequins and for the ribbon. I did the ribbon a different way, and I guess I can show you on this extra ball. I do appreciate that they give you an extra ball in case you want to make a second fairy ball chandelier thing to go inside. What I don't appreciate is, so they tell you to wrap a ribbon around, to put glue around the ball, wrap the ribbon around it, tie the ribbon in a knot, and hope it doesn't just kind of slide off. Except it's almost 100% certainly going to slide off while you're trying to do the rest of it, unless you let it dry first and then do the rest of it. And I know no children that are going to wait to do that. So, I did it the way that I wanted to. Which I think makes more sense. Which is, I used this random nail tool that I just happened to have nearby. You could probably do this with anything roughly this size. Because this was the exact correct size for the ribbon. I just kind of stabbed right through the middle of it. And then put the ribbon on and then went through the hole again to push the ribbon through. I do appreciate that they include enough sequins and enough ribbon, because they include 2 different ribbons, that if you wanted to, you could make another ball. That's about the only thing I appreciate out of this. The sequins are clearly cheap. I can buy these at the dollar store for $1 for this same amount. Actually, more. The gems, same thing. Not only that, and this is entirely worth noting, the extra gems that I went to retrieve were from the thrift shop, meaning that they are pre-owned by someone else, meaning that they are significantly older than this kit should be. I had less of them pop off of their sticky glue bottom tape thingy than I had those gems pop off of their sticky glue gemmy thingies. And that's concerning because this was a brand new kit. Now, this kit was only $7. However, you can probably get all of these materials plus some for roughly the same amount, if not cheaper. You can very easily make this pattern and put it on cardstock. The other problem that I have was this stupid bit. They called this a, quote, chimney, unquote, which is hilarious because they also have the chandelier going through it. So, like, yeah, that's a chimney, alright. I'm gonna put this like this so it is actually no, because you can't see it anyway. They could have done this entire clasping situation literally by just including, like, a thin piece of, like, a plastic tube that does the same thing. And it would have not been that expensive. And, like, I understand, oh, well, the plastic tube wouldn't be eco-friendly, except they also gave us a gigantic thing of glitter and a bunch of fake plastic gems. So none of this is meant to be eco-friendly. Unless you're going to tell me that the sequins are biodegradable, which they are certainly not. So the fact that they didn't just make this a little plastic tube, thus rendering the fact that they included extra stuff to make an extra one not redundant. Because with how difficult this is to put in, if you take it apart to get to the other one to replace your plastic ball, to replace your silly chandelier ball thingy, you are almost 100% certain to rip it when you put it back together again. Because it's made out of paper. So, what I'm saying is, you can make this pattern, put it on some cardstock. You have more customization if you do it that way. You can, what I'm saying, the basis of what I'm saying is you can buy literally all of this stuff from the dollar store. Have it cost maybe slightly more, except you're going to get more use out of it because you're going to be getting more materials, meaning you'll be able to make more than one of these stupid things. Because the main reason that I bought this, honestly, was because I thought it was going to make two. You know, because they indicate that your contents might vary, which was like, oh, maybe you get two different ones and you can do however you know. The contents that may vary are the gems and the sequins. That's the only thing that may vary. So, was it worth it? For the $7 that I paid for it from Ollie's World, probably not. Because like I said, you can get basically all of this from the dollar store for cheaper, make more of them, and have more customization options. I mean, the only things that you might not be able to get from the dollar store are these stupid little bauble things. But honestly, you could put anything hanging from that and call it a chandelier and it'll be just as good. If not better, probably. So, now, if this was a $5 to $6-ish, like, if this was a $4 or $5 craft kit, I would say, yeah, go for it. But this supposedly teaches you how to draw fairies, except it doesn't actually. The puzzles and stuff in this are cheap and easy, and honestly, you can get something just like this at the dollar store. Just buy a coloring page, just buy a coloring book that's fairy based. the contents of this kit is not worth it. Honestly, the only thing that might make it vaguely worth it is so that you can have this so you can trace it and make a bunch of patterns out of it. So that you can keep repeating the process. Anyway, I'm gonna go change my shirt now because I'm covered in glue, and probably wash my glasses a little bit better, and yeah. Don't buy this unless you like desperately want the pattern and you don't want to just find it on the internet, because honestly it's not that hard to make a house out of folded paper.